Hey guys, Gameboy 3800 here, once again back in Forza Horizon 5, continuing Let's Solve a Scramble in B class, 450 horsepower. Last time out, Team Australia was quite a letdown, I will be honest. I was not expecting it to be that that slidey, that out of control, that backflippy. So, we're going to try one more time for the Fords. I think this is going to be our last batch of Fords for now. What do we have left though? Let's find out. I know we have the Raptor, we have the Bronco, and we have the Lightning. Those are all big trucks, though. I don't see any other vehicles that I built for Ford. So, what do we do for this episode? Do I do trucks? I'm fairly certain trucks will have a huge advantage, and I don't feel like I'm quite ready to completely destroy the leaderboard there yet. So, instead, we're going to go for GMC and then HDT. So, Team Australia will have its chance to redeem itself, but first, it's time to get back to GM. We had the Chevys go for a while and lead for a while. Now the Dodge is in the lead, and then the Mustang got the lead back. Can Chevy GM take it back? I'm going to start with the Vandura. Now, you will notice here that the Vandura is not at the top of B class. It just could not get to the top of B class with this horsepower limit. It does have a stupid amount of torque, and it does have a 6-speed. I was able to get a race gearbox in this car. Even with lowest ride height, we are well above 10 inches, so we should be fine for that. We have race brakes. We are ready to go with our Vandura. So the torque here seems to, seems to drop like a rock. But we do have 6 gears, so we should be able to just stay in whatever rev range we like. I have found a problem though. This needs more sway bar stiffness than other cars. We have a ton of body roll. Now, a lot of body roll can mean that the weight transfer really helps for grip off-road. But it can also just mean we fall over. Fourth gear seems to be our gear for this vehicle. How fast do we go across the river jump here? We are way down on speed. Of course, even with max weight reduction and using the lightest everything, I think we're even using the biggest tires. We just don't have the speed or the grip there to really even compete. Now that can all change with the next GMC we're going to take a look at. But this GMC, it is not going to do us very great here. Challenger is already that far ahead, and that's not even the lead car. I probably should have gotten the adjustable rear wing. That would have dropped our class even lower, so I wanted to be as close to the top of the class as I could. with this tune. I think obviously that was the wrong call to do. Yeah, the back end stability is not inspiring any confidence. We are so far down on speed. We've seen cars well above 110 there at their best, and we're not even doing 105. So we are losing speed everywhere on this track. Now obviously the call for this tune, this truck, is to either diesel swap it or LS swap it. Just get a ton of horsepower. And even though this has well over 600 foot-pounds of torque at low RPM, we're just never in it. We're below 500. And then probably even getting into 300 at the very top of the revs. So, despite having pretty much maxed out everything, except for aerodynamics, this van is just not the way to go for this track. Fairly certain this even has turbos too. It actually has pretty low boost levels for really anything. Like, I consider good boost levels to be 15 or above. This isn't even making 12, or like just over 12. So do I even have max upgraded force induction on this? I thought I did. Yep, it's just a complete mystery to me. Where's my turbocharged Typhoon? And whether it's a Twister. They would have been way better for this course. They're in Horizon 3. They're in Horizon 4. You brought them back in Horizon 4. Why'd you take them away, game? Why? 5 seconds down on our target time. 5 seconds. That's just insane. Well, let's try the GMC Jimmy. That's our next vehicle. And it's one of the barn find cars. We have an okay torque number, above 500. We weigh a lot. We are very high up, though, and it is known for being one of the better handling off-road cars in this game. I think after the Jimmy, we go back to Ford, because there are some trucks here that, now that we have these two vehicles to compare with, I feel more confident in putting the off-road trucks back into the mix. So we'll get back to Ford after this episode, and after the Jimmy even. So we'll get back to Ford in this episode. The Jimmy super high up, great for off-roading, great for cross-country. How about a dirt circuit though? That's meant for like rally cars. I have it with a 9-speed gearbox, just because I didn't know what to do with it. 24 inches from the lowest setting. We should be okay for really any bumps up there. I did need to swap it to rear-wheel drive, that's why I have 10 gears. So I could get some more points for like maybe brakes or something. We have a good level of boost. And because we don't have the silly stock gearbox to worry about, we have a great clutch. But we have no top speed. Yep, this does have the actual aerodynamics of a barn. Sometimes you'll say that for hyperbole. No, this thing is actually worse than a barn around the track for its aerodynamics. The grip levels feel very good. Well, of course, you might say, it's a huge off-road truck. Not just that. It's consistently good. This car is staying exactly where I want it every time. Not too fast, it's about the same speed as a Vandura, but it's so much more stable than a Vandura. Like, that was the first tiny bit of drifting I've done all race here. How do we do up the hill? Do pretty good. So I need as much run up as I can possibly get for the downhill because I have no top speed. But I do have good grip, so I don't have to worry about going wide. So this is a case of a car that has a ton of grip, and it just legitimately doesn't care about the water. But we don't have the power, the speed, to compete with a faster car than us. This time I tried sticking it in fourth for the whole track, and it seemed to work out. Fifth gear, I think, didn't help us too much. Maybe I should have left it in third for that turn. We handle turns super good. If you do the normal LS swap, this thing would be an absolute monster. I had to give it everything I had because I'm pretty sure this isn't going to beat the Challenger any other way. Yeah, we can definitely keep up with it through the tighter turns. But then you can see it running away from us here. A 28.4, we're half a second down on the Challenger. That's not bad, but again, a 27.3 is the lead time. We are still a second and a bit down compared to the leader. Well, let's give Ford one last chance with the Lightning. Not the new one. No, no, no. We got the old one to deal with first. That is if they ever bring in the new Lightning. I hope they do. I would love to see how an electric truck does in this game. Since the closest thing we have to an electric truck is the Funko. And that's not electric or a truck. But it's got the power of one. So here we got the Ford Lightning 2003. It's a little bit heavy, does have decent-ish torque, and it is supercharged. At least stock. I may have even turbocharged it, I forget. It does sound really good. It is rear-wheel drive. I have no idea how this is going to do. I was fearing earlier that the big off-road trucks would just completely wash everything else. So I didn't want to do them to keep the leaderboard fair because, you know, leaving everything as cars makes sense. But, you know, seeing how the Jimmy and the Vandura did, I have a little bit more confidence that trucks won't just completely dominate. And this will be our chance to see that. I didn't set the Rivals Ghost to the Challenger. I did that before too. I'm just bad. It's basically the same speed as the Challenger, but of course the real leader being the 127.3 time of the Bosch 302. It doesn't matter anyways. So this vehicle is another vehicle that gains points fairly quickly. I was able to get everything on by putting on the rear wing. That was able to drop the PI enough for us. But still, I feel like I could have gotten away with more if it didn't, like a racing gearbox to give us more gears. Because 4 speeds, as I've said before, don't often give us the greatest results. It is true that we use mostly only 4 gears in a 5-speed gearbox, but that's just because its gearing is shorter and better. The super tall gearing of a naturally 4-speed gearbox doesn't always help unless you have a torque monster, which we don't. Fair run onto the track. We're going to be faster than the Jimmy on the road. Oh my. I don't know what happened there. We almost lost it. Of course, this Ghost we're following is probably going to be all-wheel drive and LS swapped. So it's not comparable at all. It's just a similar time. Oh my. I don't know what happened there. It just didn't want to turn for me. So this truck is not filling me with inspiration, or, you know, I'm not feeling confident in this car with its grip levels. Speed is better than the Jimmy, better than the Vandura especially. We just slide out wide. And I would have to chalk that up to this thing just being a boat. It is quite heavy. And it's not like a modern boat where all that extra weight goes right into handling. It's just a boat that's a boat. I'll try not to almost spin out on whatever that first turn even is. And there we go. We have a much better start to this lap already. I'll coast there just to keep it stable. Yeah, you can see where the Jimmy, that tune just doesn't care at all about any of these bumps and jumps. while everything is slowing the poor old Lightning down. And that's a shame, because I thought this truck, with its long wheelbase and it being an actual off-road truck, you know, with the tires and everything, that it would do good. And it did do good at the start of the lap, where we had a little bit more overspeed than the Jimmy. Just not enough. And again, the Challenger Ghost that we would actually be going up against, it wouldn't be that much further ahead than that. So, Ford had another shot, and, well, it blew it. That's it for now. GMC had a shot, it failed. And then Ford had another shot, and it also failed. That's how it goes sometimes. That's it for this episode. If you enjoyed the comeback tour of the Ford, only for it to fall off the stage in embarrassment, and you can leave a like, favorite, comment, share, and of course don't forget to subscribe as well. Thanks, Gambia. I'll see you all in the future.